Good morning, students. Welcome to the class. Today we will start with a new chapter, that is the age of industrialization of history, class 10. In this session we will cover the following topics: before the industrial revolution, development of proto-industry system, and the coming up of the factory. So let us start with our first topic, that is before the industrial revolution. The industrialization is considered to be the backbone of economic development. Often we associate industrialization with the growth of factory industry. Now, history of industrialization started with the establishment of first factories, but this idea of industrialization is based somewhere else, because even before factories began to appear in England and Europe, there was large-scale industrial production for the international market. This was not dependent on factories. Many historians refer to this phase as proto-industrialization. World trade had expanded at a very fast rate during the 17th and 18th century. The producer in the towns failed to produce the required quantity. Merchants could not expand production within town, as urban crafts and trade guilds were very popular. They restricted the entry of new people into the trade. These guilds trained people, control the production and regulate competition and price. Different guilds were granted the right of production and trade for a specific product by the ruler. The new merchant moved to the countryside as they found difficulty in setting up business in towns. They supplied money to the poor peasant and artisans and persuaded them to produce for an international market. Now here the word comes the guild. Guild means an association of skilled workers that maintain control over production, regulated competition and prices in the trade of specific product. Now we talk about the development of proto-industrial system. In countryside, many cottages and poor peasants who were dependent on common land for their survival had to look now in search of alternative source of income. This was a time when open fields were disappearing and common were being enclosed. Since the income from their tiny plots of land was not sufficient for their livelihood, so they eagerly agreed to the proposal given by the merchants and made product for them. This made it possible for the peasants and cottagers to remain in the countryside and continue to cultivate their small plots. This is the image which shows that how different peasants and cottagers work in a proto-industrial system. Now further I explain that how the proto-industrialization become a system of commercial exchange. The income from proto-industrial production supplemented peasants' income from cultivation, and in this way they could use their full family labor resources. This system had a close relationship between town and countryside, as the merchants were based in towns and the artisans who worked for them were based in the countryside. A merchant clother first purchased wool from a wool stapler and supply it to the spinner. The thread that was spun was taken in different stages of production to weavers, fullers and then to dyers. The finishing was done in London before it was sold in the international market. Gradually, London came to be known as a finishing centre. This proto-industrial system was thus part of a network of commercial exchanges. The unusual feature of proto-industrial system was that the goods were produced by the artisans within their family farms, not in factories. At each stages of production, 20 to 25 workers were involved, which meant that each clother was controlling 100 of artisans or workers. Next come how the factories come up. We can say the coming up of the factories. The earliest factories in England came up by 1730s, but the number of factories multiplied in the late 18th century. Cotton textile was the main industry at that time. Its production boomed in the late 19th century. In 1760 to 1787, the import of raw cotton increased to 22 million pounds from 2.5 million pounds. In the 18th century, a series of inventions increased the efficiency of each step of the production process, which included carding, twisting, spinning, and rolling. These steps enhance the total output of a worker. Here, I want to clear some meanings of the words. I think you are not able to get it. Dyer, a person who dye the fabric, and carding, the process in which fibers such as cotton or wools are prepared prior to spinning. That process is known as carding. Now come the topic, that is emergence of mills. Richard Arkwright is credited to create the cotton mill. Within the mill, all the processes were brought together in one roof and management. This overall careful supervision was not possible in case of production in the countryside. Factory system increased largely in England, and in the early 19th century, factories became an intimate part of England's landscape. Merchants concentrated their attention on the mill, neglecting the workshops of countryside where production still continued. That's it with our today's session. In tomorrow class, we will talk about the pace of industrial change in technology, etc. Till then, take care. Goodbye.